Have you ever been in this situation where you've had a few sales meetings in a row and you've got a no? Or you've had a really important sales conversation and you got a no? You know what? If you have, you're in really good company. G'day, I'm David DUGAN, founder of Abundance Global. You know, the answer to this problem is a lot simpler than you think. In 2018, I worked with 465 entrepreneurs face to face. And one of the biggest things I see is that they get really emotional when they get a no. And this one simple training, this simple insight has made a huge difference to them and a huge difference to me as well. So I thought I'd just show you out. It's really very simple, and that is this. That when you look at your prospects, the people that are potential clients for you, they all go through at some point in time a looking zone. What I mean by that is, if you look at where they are, when they, let's say you're a business to business, and you might supply something to another business, they don't have a need, and they're just plodding along, and then all of a sudden, there's a problem. There's a problem that occurs. In fact, the only reason for any business to exist is to solve someone's problem. So there's a problem that occurs, and all of a sudden they're now looking for a solution. Now they may find a solution, and guess what? That may or may not be you, or maybe they solved it on their own, or maybe it went away. And then they go out of the looking zone. And then what happens is, they then go back into the looking zone at some period of time. And you know what? This is a cycle that we see all the time. Now, one of my clients, an amazing guy, he works and his clients are in corporate land. So large multinationals, government organizations. And the challenge with this is that the looking zone for some of those organizations has a really small window. In other words, there's a natural cycle. There's a natural cycle. In fact, every community or when you look at any different area in the business community, they all go through different cycles. There could be seasonal cycles through the year, or it could be just there's natural cycles. But for a lot of times, towards the end of the financial year, they've got to spend their budget so they can get the new budget for the next year. They go through a cycle. The key with this is you just got to keep up the numbers, because at some point they're going to go through the looking zone. One of the things that I found the critical with this was, and this gentleman that we work with, he works in corporate land. He had to put this effort in. His first year made $76,000. His second year, he made $138,000, and he kind of just plateaued there for a couple of years, doing consulting gig from consulting gig. And the answer he would get was, we love what you're doing. I think it's fantastic, but can you come back later? It'll be in a few months' time. We've got a restructuring that we're getting on and happening. And once that's done, we can get onto it. Or the classic one is, we've got a new CEO. We can't make any decisions. Or another one, we've got a new C-suite of some sort, and there's a freeze on that department. And unfortunately, that can be tough. Now, this client, his name's Will. 3 years, in his third year, he's taking his business from 138,000 and he's going to take it to over 7 figures. And all it was the persistence to just know that eventually your prospects will go through the looking zone. If you keep in contact, if you keep on touching base, if you keep on connecting with them, eventually they'll come into the looking zone when you are there and you can offer your product or service. And here's the thing is, it can be tough. Being an entrepreneur, when you're trying to make sales, you're trying to get out there and make a difference, it can be difficult. You can have your ups and downs in your journey. If you know an entrepreneur right now is having a bit of an up and down, and they just need to know, if you've got a few no's, it's okay. Keep it going. Keep kicking the can, keep moving forward, because eventually their prospects, their leads will eventually become clients. So make sure you share this message with them and help entrepreneurs to know that it's okay to get a no.